It's the end of the day. You feel left behind. You feel frustrated because nothing seems clear. You look at your life and wonder if it even has a purpose. You feel stuck, and deep inside, you're afraid that time is running out before your dreams can ever come true. But this changes now. If you want to create a new life, you need rules. Rules that will guide you in this game. And the very first rule you should consider is this: change your mind. Everything you're looking for begins in your mind. The whole life you've been yearning for, success, progress, happiness, it's already waiting inside you. But you cannot reach it with the same thoughts that made you feel stuck. Changing your mind doesn't mean you suddenly become a different person overnight. It means you make a choice to leave behind the old way you think about yourself, and you decide to step into new habits, new beliefs, and new behaviors. When you change your mind, your actions change. And when your actions change, your life begins to transform. That's why this is so important. This first step must be taken if you want to change your life. Everything begins in the mind. Every successful story, every dream that came true, started in the mind of someone who believed it was possible. That's why even a small shift in your thinking can completely change the direction of your life. That shift can go two ways. It can lift you up, or it can bring you down. In a calm, noise-free environment, journal your thoughts. But before you do the journaling, start with moving your body. For example, you can drop down and do 50 push-ups, then follow it with squats. No gym needed, just you and the floor. Why? Because the body and the mind are connected. Like every time I exercise, I send energy into my body. My blood flows faster, my lungs open up, my heart beats stronger. And then, something powerful happens. My mind wakes up, my brain gets sharper. That's why working out is crucial. It's for anyone who wants a strong mind. And a strong mind is the foundation of a strong life. Once your body is moving and your mind is awake, grab your journal and then ask yourself a simple but powerful question. What do I want to achieve in life? And where is my life heading? This is not about lying to yourself or copying someone else's dream. It's about being honest and clear with your own heart. What do you truly want? Write it down. The next thing is to think about the skills you'll need to learn in order to reach that dream. For example, if you want to be a writer, you will need to practice writing every day. If you want to start a business, you will need to learn money management or communication. Every dream has a path, and that path requires skills. Write those skills down too, because knowing them gives you direction. Keep your vision in front of you. Now that you know what you want, don't let it get lost in your notebook. Pin it somewhere you'll see it every single day. On your bedroom wall, on your study desk, somewhere that will remind you of your vision every morning and every night. But here's another step that makes it even more powerful. Affirm it. Speak it out loud. Say, I'm going to do this. I will achieve this goal in this time and in this way. This is what Napoleon Hill calls autosuggestion in his book, Think and Grow Rich. It may sound simple, but it's a game changer. Because when you affirm your goals, you are training your mind to believe in them. And belief is the engine that drives action. At first, it may feel strange, but with time, your mind starts to accept it as truth. And once your mind accepts it, your habits and actions follow. Before you know it, opportunities connected to your goal will begin showing up, almost like magic. Change starts with the mind. Your thoughts are the seeds of your future. If you plant negative seeds, you will harvest negative results. But if you plant positive, clear, and powerful thoughts, you will harvest growth, progress, and success. Rule 2. Disappear from distractions. If you really want to change your life, you must understand this. Success requires sacrifice. There are things you love doing right now that are stealing your time. They are pulling you away from your goals. I call them external distractions. Distractions can come in many forms. Maybe it's scrolling on TikTok. Maybe it's spending hours on social media, or hanging out with friends who are not adding value to your life. Deep inside, they are eating away the hours you need to grow, learn, and build your dream. That's why, if you want to create a life you're proud of, you must disappear from distractions. Go into monk mode. When I say disappear, I don't mean you run away from life. I mean you choose focus. You enter what I call monk mode. Monk mode is a state of peace and clarity. It's when you create a quiet environment where nothing pulls your attention. No endless scrolling, no background noise. Your mind becomes free for your goals. To solve a problem, you must first know the source of the problem. That's why the first step is awareness. Find a quiet space, sit down, and take 30 minutes for yourself. In this time, clear your thoughts and write down all the things that distract you in your notebook. Be honest to yourself, but also filter your distractions. Look at your list. Not every distraction is harmful. Some of them are necessary for your health or relaxation. For example, talking with a family member or taking a short walk outside is not bad. The key is control. So what do? Separate your distractions into two groups: the ones you must completely cut off, and the ones that can be scheduled. For the first group, the ones that steal your time and add no value, cut them out completely. If it doesn't move you closer to your dream, it doesn't deserve your attention. For the second group, those that refresh you or connect you with loved ones, don't quit them, but schedule them. Use them as breaks or rewards after deep work. That way, you control them instead of them controlling you. The key is control, but also clean up your circle. The people around you shape your habits. If your circle is full of people addicted to their phones, you will likely do the same. If your circle spends all their free time gossiping or wasting hours online, you will join them. This is why so many young people today feel trapped. They don't even realize it's their environment holding them back. You must clean up your circle. That doesn't mean abandoning every friend. It means choosing wisely who you spend most of your time with. Spend more time around people who are focused, disciplined, and serious about their future. Their habits will push you to grow. Control your phone. Don't let it control you. The phone is the biggest distraction for almost everyone today. Scientists say that even before you open an app, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. That's why it's so addictive. So what's the solution? Control your phone. Don't let it control you. Keep your phone out of reach when you're working. Switch it off when you need full focus. And turn off unnecessary notifications so you don't get interrupted every few minutes. But also create no phone zones in your room or study space. When you do this, your brain gets space to think. Your environment is the key to deep focus. If your space is filled with distractions, you will struggle to get anything done. But if your environment is clean, quiet, and designed for concentration, your mind will naturally enter flow. And when you disappear from distractions, you gain time. Rule 3. Focus on one thing. This rule is powerful. If you want your life to change, if you want real progress, then you must focus on one thing. Because success requires energy. Your time, your thoughts, your actions, all are limited resources. If you spread them across too many directions, you get weak results everywhere. But if you take all that energy and put it into one thing, it grows strong and successful. The world is full of distractions. Everyone is chasing the next big thing. One day it's crypto. The next day it's a trending app. Another day it's a new business idea. These are what I call shiny objects. They look exciting, but they take you off track. If you keep jumping from one shiny thing to another, you'll never finish anything. You'll waste years starting projects, but never see them grow. That's why focus is not just important, it's survival. But then this is something you should admit. Focusing on one thing is not always easy. Sometimes progress feels slow. It feels like nothing is working. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, calls this the valley of disappointment. On the success graph, painful place where your effort feels invisible, you're showing up, you're working hard, but you don't see results. But listen carefully. What you call impossible is not really impossible. It's just invisible progress. Small actions are stacking up little by little, even though you can't see them yet. That's why discipline and persistence are your greatest weapons. If you keep taking the right actions, the results appear eventually. But also, here's the next key. You cannot focus on one thing if you don't have clarity. Clarity means you know exactly what you want, why you want it, and what steps will take you there. When you have clarity, your actions pay off. You understand the challenges ahead. You recognize the rewards waiting at the finish line, and you save yourself from wasting time on impossible goals. But what if you don't have clarity yet? Then your mission is to learn the process. Study the game if you want to win the game. Find mentors. Seek people who have already done what you want to do. Ask them questions and follow their advice. Most people get advice from people who have no results in the area you care about, people who haven't done what you're doing. And that's a mistake. Stop getting advice from them. But also, don't chase perfection, chase progress. You may think that you need to get everything right on the first try. Most people may want the perfect business, the perfect project. And because they're waiting for perfection, they never start. But mastery doesn't come from perfection, it comes from repetition. Only what you are supposed to do is to focus on showing up every single day. Do one action daily toward your goal. Build momentum, because one imperfect action done today is better than a perfect idea that lives only in your head. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to make the best clay pot. If you try to create one perfect pot from the start, you'll likely fail. But if you create many pots, dozens of low-quality ones, you'll start to see improvement. Because with each mistake, you learn. At the end of all, you create a pot of real quality. That's how success works. Commit for the long game. Commit for one goal for decades. Those are 10 years of commitment and consistency. You will see the magic. So thank you for joining and listening up to the end. Please like and subscribe. Share this to your friend. Stay disciplined and consistent. It's the key. If you want to watch how you can build discipline, please click on the video.